I'm just happy that the Premiership is back.
I've been having withdrawals. I've been counting down the days every day. Is it the 11th year? Is it the 11th year? Is it the 12th rather? Alright guys, welcome back to another episode. As usual, I'm Kennedy.
And I'm Uche.
And we're going to talk about the first game week of the season for the English Premier League, not Fantasy Premier League yet.
So let's start with the first game, Fulham versus Arsenal.
What do you think for that game?
It's very dicey. I think Arsenal has had a good preseason, but I think the game can go either way. It can be a tight game in which Arsenal will still win, and it can be a blowout. We can win like 4-0 or 4-1.
Okay,
so
that makes sense. I was hearing something the other day. Somebody was saying something about how usually teams that come up to the league, they have an advantage in early games like this because their fans are so excited to be in the Premier League, so they're backing them the whole time. Fulham is at home for this game. But now that there are no fans, it's just an empty stadium.
Exactly,
it's what you can do. It's less mental. It's more physical in this instance. So I don't know. I'm thinking Arsenal is gonna win by like 3-0. That's what I'm thinking.
It was that 3-0 was floating in my head for a while. So 3-0 or 4-1. I think Fulham might score like a set piece, corner kick or free kick or something.
It's always hard to judge some of these things because they scored a lot of goals in the championship, but I don't really know how to relate that to what they're going to do in the league. But I guess they can only beat who you put in front of them or whatever.
I expect Aubameyang to have a good game. There's been rumors that they might announce his extension.
I thought they announced
just
it
before
already.
his game. No, he hasn't been announced. Like there have been rumors that it's going to be officially announced.
Okay, I guess the club hasn't come out to say it.
Yes.
Right? But from what I've been hearing, it's already done and dusted.
It's already done, but there's no official announcement yet.
More Arsenal news.
Okay.
I was hearing that Barcelona is interested in Bellerin too, not just.
Yes, but the recent news that's come out is Arsenal has shut down every move to either sign or loan him. I know PSG was also looking to loan him with an option to buy after the loan. But I think Arsenal has shut down everything. I don't think there's any reason to either sell or loan him.
Yeah, I mean,
because
unless it's a money issue, tactically there's no reason to get rid of him as far as I can see. So I like that decision. You already know I like that decision. I still think he should be number one as a right back until Cedric shows that. I feel like Cedric has potential.
I still think he's number one.
Yeah, he is. I think he is. If he stays, he's number one. So I'm happy with that decision. We still need to get our, and I guess the money has to come from somewhere since Kroenke would not shell it out. I'm hearing that they're asking for about 60, I think.
It's 60 million euros, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. I think we should just pay the price and get him.
The way Arsenal likes to behave, I think they can. They just don't want to. They like to pay.
I think another problem is that they feel they have options also with Ozil. And I'm sad to say that I don't like.
Oh yeah, I remember. I think the last episode I was talking about they might just try and start playing him again. Look at him actually playing the preseason games.
He might actually start on Saturday.
I don't really want to see that. This is the kind of mistakes we make at the beginning of the season. We start playing Ozil. He's not bad, but especially with the way a manager like Arteta wants to play, he's going to be a liability defensively. So we could be costing ourselves 4 or 5 points here or there in the first 5.
That will only work if we have a solid DM.
No matter what, I don't think it's a good idea. There's no top team in the league that plays with a player like that.
I think it might come to play if we're playing different types of games. Like some midfielders might have to rest, or he can be a sub.
Okay.
In maybe 80th minutes.
Yeah, for those purposes, like 60th minutes sub, that's fine. But
I don't think it should even come in 60th minutes.
If you examine it, like look at Liverpool, City, and Co. The closest thing to Ozil in City would be like De Bruyne. And look at how much work he does. Look at someone like. There's no real analog to Ozil in Liverpool, but look at their midfielders. Look at why not. Just look at how active they are. Look at even Chelsea midfielders are active. It's nobody's carrying passengers like that. So if we're gonna use him, it has to be against lower table sides in the league. If not, and even at that, some of those sides that are more active will give us trouble. Next game is Crystal Palace Southampton. What are you thinking?
That was another dicey game. From the transfers, I think they got Batshuayi if he starts.
Don't make it.
mean, he's decent. He just needs to stay on side most of the time. I think I'm seeing a draw in that game. I'm seeing a draw in that game.
I don't know. I feel like Southampton are going to have too much for them. Although I heard today that, what's his name? Armstrong is going to miss that game.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe their attacking will suffer a little bit. But if Ings and Adams are still on form, they're going to give them a lot of problems. But if Crystal Palace putting their hopes on Batshuayi, then that game, they're already in trouble. I've never really been impressed with that guy. I mean, supposedly he did well at Dortmund. I didn't really watch him much there, but from what I saw at Chelsea, I take Nketiah over Batshuayi. I'll take Nketiah over Batshuayi. As much as I'm not really a huge fan of Nketiah, I'll take him over Batshuayi, to be honest. I'm thinking Southampton 3-1.
I'm thinking more like 2-1. It's going to be closer than... I think it's the first game of the season, and it probably will be closer.
I'm thinking that might be why it will even be more of a blowout. We tend to see eccentric things at the beginning, but I mean, another fun one, Liverpool versus Leeds. I think we have different opinions on this one too.
What's your opinion on it?
My opinion is it's going to be close. Leeds are the most capable team that came out from the championship, so...
Knowing that they are the champions, not to take anything for granted.
I guess.
I think the only way the game will be close is if it's a draw going into the second half. If Liverpool should have 1 or 2 goals going in the second half, I see it very bad day for.
I think Leeds are a very disciplined side. I mean, I'm not gonna lie and say I was watching them in the championship, but I've been studying them a lot because of what I heard about Bielsa, the manager. Even if they manage to concede like 1 or 2 goals in the first half, I think it's a situation where they'll probably try to manage the game for the rest of that time and not try to... It's just the start of the season. You're playing the champions. You don't want to start dishing out goal difference left or right already.
So they probably will be defensive also.
Yeah, I think they will be... I won't say that they will be defensive or park the bus, but they'll be compact. They'll take their time. They'll be patient. I think that's what I would expect to see from them. I'm probably guessing that... My guess would be Liverpool wins that game 2-0. That's what I'm thinking. I don't think it's going to be anything too bad. And even then, Leeds could surprise people and make it like a 1-1 draw. That would not shock me at all.
I think I'll go for maybe 3-0 or 3-1. It probably will be an open game because I think Leeds, they like attacking.
I think so too. I think they do like to come out. But then again, that's against opposition that's on their level in the championships. I don't know what approach they would take. I feel like Bielsa is kind of like I don't want to use the word pragmatic because it has a negative connotation in football now. When people say pragmatic, they're thinking Mourinho now. But I think he's the kind of manager that adapts to what he needs.
Absolutely, but I don't think they want to start the game being that compact until basically more defensive, knowing the kind of pressure Liverpool can put on them.
True. I don't know.
I think they'll also come out and want to play too, to feel themselves out against Liverpool, not just go sit back in the beginning of the game. If they lose 4-5-0, I mean, it's the first game of the season. It's not like they're going to get relegated immediately. I think they can learn from that.
Yeah.
But just to sit back and allow Liverpool to attack, I don't think it's going to end well.
Well, it depends on the type of philosophy he has, I guess. He might think if we can get points in games like this could be the difference between staying up and going down, because they can get points against those top teams. But I don't know. It depends on whether he's more of a positive or negative-minded manager. We'll see. West Ham, Newcastle. What are you thinking?
Honestly, these are the kind of games I don't think I can predict.
I don't think I have an opinion on this.
I don't have an opinion on it.
Well, actually, I do. Newcastle just... I feel like Wilson is going to add a lot to Newcastle.
Yeah, even Fraser will do something good.
Oh yeah, there's Fraser too. It's like they just went shopping in Brom.
But I think I still see St. Maximum being the best player this season in Newcastle.
I doubt that.
I see that.
I feel like playing with Wilson will elevate what he's able to achieve, but that will mostly be because he's supporting Wilson. That's what I think will happen.
Yeah, they'll probably complement each other better.
Yeah.
Than other seasons.
Because typically it's like he's very good at dribbling, he's good at carrying the ball, but then there's no end product sometimes because there's nobody to
pass the ball to.
Yeah, there's nobody to give it to. There's nobody to do that final work.
So I think Newcastle is gonna win that game, but I don't know how many goals or how it's gonna go.
I'll say Newcastle 2-1. That's my prediction.
I'm not going to predict that game.
The next one is West Brom versus Leicester.
I expect Leicester to win the game, but it all depends on. I think if a red card happens, it's going to be bad.
Yeah.
For West Brom.
I can't decide, really, because the teams that came up this year, I really like the teams that came up. None of them seems like a pushover. Although if I had to pick one to be the bottom, it would probably be West Brom.
I think the newly promoted teams are going to surprise some people in the beginning stages.
Yeah.
They're going to.
I think at least 2 of them are going to stay up. At least 2 will stay up.
I think so.
And some other guys are going to find themselves in the championship next season. But for this particular game, I can't look past Leicester. I'm thinking Leicester wins it like 2 or 3-0. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. They have Charlie Austin. He does alright, I guess, but I don't really see a lot of attacking threat from West Brom. What do you think?
I agree with you. Maybe 3-1, 3-0.
Spurs, Everton next.
That's going to be a very close game. I think people are expecting Tottenham to take that game easily, but I think Everton can pull an upset.
They can. I'm interested to see what Ancelotti has done over the break. Now that he has had time to work with them. He got in James Rodriguez, who he likes, although you don't really rate him. I saw this picture. It's like he's been following Ancelotti everywhere. Like there's a picture of them at Madrid,
I saw it too.
And then them at Bayern.
Now
Everton.
Yeah.
So clearly there's something about.
I mean, he likes the player and he buys him, but. He needs to prove me wrong first. I don't really rate him that highly. I mean, he came in with all the hype after the World Cup.
He was great in that World Cup. I feel like
that's what I'm saying. He came in with a lot of hype after the World Cup
career. It was not for me. It wasn't the right move for him to make. There are other places.
Yeah, but when Madrid comes calling you can't say no.
Yeah, but sometimes this is the end results now. Well, now you find yourself in.
He took his chances. Same thing with Bale too. They all took their chances.
Bale he had already reached heights a little bit before he decided to go to Madrid. Like there was, apart from winning the Premier League, there was nothing more for him to do before getting to that point. Like he was already like on top in Premier League. So, whereas Rodriguez had just gotten that little blip in the World Cup and they just snapped him up just like that. And Real Madrid is not, in my opinion, they're not a good club to be developing young talent like that.
They want finished products.
Yeah. So he was always going to sit on the bench, and there's no way he was going to be competing with the likes of Cristiano over there.
I mean, he was a midfielder.
What World Cup was that? Was that 14?
Yeah, that was 14.
Okay. Yeah, I think Everton might surprise them there, but I still see Spurs winning that one like 2-1 or something.
The only problem I see with Spurs is I hope Kane is firing in the beginning of the season. He doesn't usually do that. So if he's firing, Spurs will most likely win the game. But if they come with the impression that the game is going to be easier than what they think, everything is going to surprise them.
But the interesting thing is, I think the joke people always make is that Kane never scores in August. But this season is not August. So I don't know how that's going to go. Maybe the curse is not going to follow him. This season.
You have a point. You have a point.
But I still prefer Son. I still think Son has the potential to be the main man.
I like Ali in this game too.
Well,
I like Ali. I
haven't seen him play in a while. He was injured at the end of last season? Was he?
I
don't think I've seen him play in a while. I don't know what that's gonna look like, but we'll see how that goes. Sheffield Wolves. That's an interesting game. That's a game I'll definitely be watching. I don't know if Sheffield United... both of those teams, I don't know what they're going to look like this season. Like
exactly, because they were really good defensively last season. Sold some players, so I don't know how they're going to be.
I want to see what Sheffield is like with Ramsdale instead of Henderson.
I think he's a decent keeper. He's still going to be... Their defense is still going to be good. The problem is scoring goals.
True. That was their issue, I think.
That game can just end maybe 1-0. Wolves maybe score a penalty or something. I don't see many goals in that game.
Yeah, I think that's a headline. I can agree with that scoreline. 1-0 Wolves.
But then just
obviously Jimenez.
Watch how they put me to shame, and the game will end 6-5.
But Sheffield, they're not pushovers though. That's the thing. They do always surprise you. They're not pushovers. But I'll say 1-0 to Wolves, and we'll see what the actual scoreline will be.
And the final game for game week 1, Brighton Chelsea.
I feel like this game is going to be very funny. I don't know why. I have a feeling in my guts that Chelsea are going to be embarrassed this season. I don't know. I don't know why. Like with all these, it reminds me a lot
with all the hype, right?
It reminds me of when Spurs sold Bale, and then they went and bought all these little guys. What was that guy's name?
No, but
Chadley? Was it Chadley? Nasser? I think it was Chadley or something like that. Don't you remember his name?
I think I remember what you're talking about,
but yeah, they just went and bought all these guys, and they were like, in their minds, they had just built like a squad. They had built a whole squad, but none of those guys individually could contribute enough. And I guess their idea was like the whole is greater than some of the parts, but it didn't work out that way. I feel like something similar is going to happen at Chelsea this season, especially since they didn't invest in defense. The only investment they did get Chilwell. Chilwell is good,
but he's not starting the first game. Chilwell and
he's not fit yet.
He's not fit yet.
Yeah, so I think Chilwell will
hasn't
do
been playing
well for them. But how do you have defensive problems? Basically, you have no centre backs. You have Rudiger dancing all over the place, and your answer is to go get 35-year-old. Is it 35 or 36? 35-year-old Thiago Silva. I mean, imagine Chelsea fans laughing at Willian, and you go get the
Thiago Silva is not going to start either. But they're both not going to start. But I think they still got some good players. Werner, he was the highest goal scorer. Was he? Maybe second or first, I think.
How? He couldn't have been with Lewandowski in the same league.
He scored 28 goals.
Hell no. No way he passed Lewandowski.
Then he was second. Either way, yeah. He has proven to be a good goal scorer.
I don't know
how it's going to translate to the Premiership.
Those 28 goals might be worth 16 in the Premier League.
The reason why I feel they are going to be decent this season is because they were worse of last season. No matter how we look at it, they were worse of last season.
Yeah, you can argue. You can say that on paper they were definitely worse off, but I don't know necessarily.
I think the only person that they really lost that will hunt them, or I won't even use the word hunt them, that they will miss maybe Willian.
The way I see it, over the course of from the end of last season to now, that defense has not gotten any better. It hasn't gotten any better. If anything, it will probably have gotten a little bit worse. Chilwell has been added. Okay, I see him improving their attacking runs from defense, but I don't really see much more than that changing. I think Chilwell will help going forward, but I don't know how much is going to contribute to defensive efforts. But I don't know. I can't really explain why, but I just feel like that's what's going to happen. I feel like Chelsea end up finishing like 6th this season, despite ignore what I predicted last week. What I predicted last week is basically going with my head, but this I just feel something in my gut tells me that Chelsea is not gonna do so well this season.
Well, I'm not sure I can predict what Chelsea is gonna do because I still need to see how the players play together.
Yeah.
But for this first game, I think they're gonna try and sneak out the win.
Okay.
It's not going to be a like 3-4-5-0. Probably like 1-2-1.
Probably
very close.
Probably.
So I don't see them winning by that big of a margin.
I'm gonna be controversial and I'll say 1-1, 1-1. Brighton Chelsea.
I would say 2-1.
You know what? ZH is missing the game. He's injured.
Yeah, but they have other players.
I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
I feel like their whole season hinges on what Werner is going to do. If Werner performs like Bundesliga, they're gonna be hot. They're probably gonna finish 3rd.
I don't see that happening.
If he doesn't, and I don't think he will.
I don't see that happening.
I don't know.
Bundesliga and Premiership are two different things.
But we'll see. Yeah. I think this first week is gonna be pretty fun. People have missed the excitement.
I'm just happy that the Premiership is back.
I've been having withdrawals. I've been counting down the days every day. Is it the 11th yet? Is it the 11th yet? Is it the 12th rather? So I don't know. I'm just excited for the league to be back, and we'll see how it goes. I hope Arsenal starts with a 3-0 win over Fulham. I hope my captain scores at least two goals. We'll see how that goes. And we're probably going to start doing a fantasy. What we should do is just create a team for the whole season and just leave it like that and just see how it does.
But there'll be injuries. That means you have to get a good bench. You have to
get a good bench.
But what are you going to wild card? Are you going to triple captain?
Just leave it like that.
No triple captain, no wild card.
Just leave it like that.
No bench boost.
Nope, just leave it. There's a thing that some guy did. He made a video about it. He looked at this hypothetical team, like if you created this team at the start of last season and just left it alone, what it would have looked like, and the team would have come like 2nd or 3rd in the game. Like just made a squad, and left it. Really, really interesting. I want to see what that looks like so we can play with that and see, just as a different section to see what's... I don't know. I feel like it'll be fun.
That's interesting.
But anyways, I guess that's all we have for this week. Next week we'll have a lot more to talk about after
all the games.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of our predictions are going to explode this weekend. They're gonna be a lot of our predictions are gonna be destroyed. So we'll see what happens. I expect a lot of surprises. I expect a couple people to be humbled by the end of. Oh, I even forgot. That's what was missing. There's no Man U or Man City games. I knew something was missing.
Oh yeah.
There's no Man U and City games. I guess the second week could be even more fun. But yeah, we're looking forward to that, and
see you guys next week.
See you guys next week.